Well, yeah, I mean, like the fact that, artists, just in general, everyone has such busy schedules. So to get anybody to take time, out of their crazy schedule to, jump on a song with me that, it was an idea that kind of came about. We were in the studio and we knew we wanted to do like a reimagined version of this song. So I was like, all right, how do we celebrate it without just doing the same old thing? So we got in the studio, started on it, and you have like all these different versions because we have to make it different. It can't just be the same, but we also don't want to go too far away from the original to where it's like, okay, you don't want to take away from why people liked the song in the first place, but you have to like reimagine it like we wanted to do. And we were just having a hard time. Like at one point, like it was a EDM song. We were at 128. It was like, no, wait, I was like, no, that's not right. And then we slowed it way down, and you try to do like almost like a folk slow version. We're like, it's not hitting the same. And at the time, I just happened to get a text from my buddy Nick from Walk the Moon, and it was about something else completely. And I was like, "Hey, do you happen to be? Are you here in LA right now?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You want to come by the studio because we're working on this anniversary edition of On the Way Down, and we're kind of stuck as to where to go." And he's like, "Sure." And so Nick from Walk the Moon, who we'd played together back in the day, we'd done a bunch of shows together. Kind of when they were getting started. So it was almost full circle. And he came by and he had this idea for it. And he started, the top of the song. And I was like, dude, okay, that's it. What if we keep that, instead of, him just helping with like the arrangement? I was like, let's keep that vocal. And then at that sparked the idea of like, what if I got a bunch of other friends, and I just started asking some people that I've worked with in the past, some people that I've toured with, and some people who we've never worked together. So I was like, this could be kind of cool. And kind of put the word out there. And everybody that is on the song are all people who just were like, absolutely, what are we doing? I remember me and AJ were golfing that morning. And I'm like, yo, I'm doing an anniversary edition of On the Way Down. He's like, sweet. I was like, you want to come by the studio and just lay some stuff down? I was like, all right. Came that afternoon and crushed it. And then some other friends I hit who were, Drake was in Mexico at the time, and he went to the studio and laid some vocals down, and Taylor was in Oklahoma. He laid some vocals down and sent them in, and Joey was in Florida, sent some in. And then I got together with my buddy Nash from Hot Chel Ray, and it just kind of, it came into, and it's its own like kind of new song. It's the same song, but it's, if for people who didn't even hear the original, I'm sure I was hoping that this could be a version that today, lives up to like, okay, here's something that could potentially, be on the radio today. I mean, not particularly, but there are a lot of like, you'll be out like at a restaurant, randomly. And like, I'm very fortunate that for some reason, specifically this song, On the Way Down, for some reason gets played still in like the most random places, whether it be grocery stores, Home Depot, Walgreens, Chili's, Applebee's, whatever your neighborhood grill and bar is, whatever that is. For some reason, it still keeps getting played there. So I'll get, a bunch of messages from friends all the time, where they'll be at the airport and they'll be like, "You hear it? All right, I'm at the airport, listening to your jam." I'm like, that's pretty cool. For me, that, 20 for a song that came out, 20 years ago, still pops up in all these random spots. I'm like, that's pretty cool for me.